Facing us against each other in the semifinal this year, Dion Samuel, the complete package offense.
Maybe 4 more to get over the Saints tonight.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he spends a lot of time on the bench, but he's going to have to be judicious with both his fouls and his pacing. He is certainly going to be dependent on that offensive end, so it's going to cause him to, step back a half step defensively, which you can't really do this against this Saints team, especially coming off a weekend where in one of those games they shot 23 threes. They made 29 threes. Sorry, made 29 threes in that game. Offensive explosion. And it's going to be very tough for these guys to get it done. But Megan, what do you think is the key to the Huskies maybe pulling off a miracle today?
I think it's going to be hard, right? You talked about it before. They've got nothing to lose, but they're in the final for a reason. So we've just got to remember that. And it's been a hotly contested 4th position. There's so many teams that could sit there very easy. Could have been the Rams here, the Nuggets here, the Nelson Giants maybe a little earlier in the season. But the Huskies made it. They're here. They've got the formula. They've had a couple of setbacks, but they've got nothing to lose. They're going to throw it all on the floor.
Yeah. Certainly is. Megan will be joining us from the sideline occasionally, a job that Hugh Banning used to have, but you got promoted or demoted. I know what it is when you have to sit next to me.
Yeah, no comment. I'll tell you what, Torrey Smith-Milner, Tom Vodanovich, they share a laugh now, but it will be nothing but competition faces as soon as Marty Davidson throws that ball in the air. The Final Four is officially underway here in Porirua, and it's the Wellington Saints who had the first possession. And here's Torrey Smith-Milner. Straight into one of the sets go the Saints. Kerwin Roach hands it off to the MVP, Dion Prewster. Smith-Milner with good possession, but Taki Farrington with a good start to this game. And here comes young Zach Riley. Into Tuffin, kisses it off the glass.
Had the opportunity to throw it ahead to Nick Barrow, tries to go his own, but what hustle by Kenneth Tuffin to get right back in the mix and take that opportunity away.
Here is Tuffin. Lives 5 minutes from Te Rauparaha Arena. Smith-Milner, the 3 ball off the back iron, rebounded by Rusko.
Well, the Huskies locked in on the defensive end early, despite a lot of pace in the play sets from the Saints.
Vodanovich, a beautiful find for Brooke Rusko at the first point, so this one go to that man there.
Well, excellent back screen to clear that open for Tom Vodanovich. Roach couldn't get it done on the switch.
Smith-Milner, Nick Barrow looking after him, averaging just 18 minutes a game. They're having to step up for his team as we see a foul here.
Zach Riley just shoving Dion Prewster with that left hand as he gets into the screen. Somehow he's trying to argue for an offensive foul.
Claiming that he got shunted by Torrey Smith-Milner first.
Yeah, he did. Torrey sets a good screen. That's what a screen does.
And Smith-Milner throwing one of his threaded needle passes, but that one just too low for Kenneth Tuffin.
Sloppy offensively for the Saints. That's their second turnover in 3 possessions, and not the level of execution that Zico Cornell would have expected from his team. But this is the type of thing that can happen. You've beaten a team 3 times. You beat them a week ago handily. You may have relaxed just a bit, but this squad's here to play.
Farrington, that's just come off his heel. Brett Rusko scampers back and just keeps it in the half court.
Twinkle toes.
And here is Rusko. Down to Barrow. Gets Torrey Smith-Milner to jump. And Nick Barrow will go to the line to shoot 2.
Just excellent vision from Brooke Roscoe there, and fires that pass on a frozen rope to get down to Nick Barrow downstairs. Look at the hustle. But Brooke Roscoe from out of the screen, and his heel just ever so close to the tape.
So Barrow at the line, off the back iron. Police officer by day, and sometimes by night.
Mostly nights, I think, now.
Depending on his duties.
Yeah, he's been on night shift for a while. He has to call in sick to come down in the Final Four. I don't think it's sick.
I think he pulled a sickie, did he?
I don't think it's a sickie.
He gets his first point of the night. 3-0 to the Huskies, and not often the Saints are kept scoreless for a minute and a half. And that's what the Huskies have done so far. Here's Dion Samuel. Can he change that? The rip through, rewarded with a foul.
Excellent recognition by the Saints that the Huskies are trying to guard Dion Samuel with Zach Riley in that position, and the switch to Taki Farrington. When he gets that mismatch strength-wise, I'd love to see him go straight down to the post and ask for it immediately, as they did on that possession.
And it's those matchups that are going to miss Justin Bibbs and Chris Johnson, the Huskies. Here's Prewster. MVP against Youth Player of the Year on that one. It's Prewster who gets the better of him and kisses it off the glass.
And well challenged by Nick Barrow, but a fantastic finish on the angle by Dion Prewster. And the Saints need to stay aggressive on the rim. They can't settle for jump shots.
Pressure from the Saints. There's Riley. Shakes off Tom Vodanovich. Finds Tucky Ferguson. He elevates into a three. That doesn't go. Rebounded by Prewster.
Well, the pressure from the Saints forcing the Huskies to settle on that position.
Prewster with the crossover. Fires it off the head of Brooke Rusko.
A deserved Falcon there.
In case I did some of the interviews yesterday, I was talking to the Huskies. Brooke Rusko made a good point. He said these youngsters, they don't know the history. They don't know the occasion they're in. They're just playing out there and having fun.
Ignorance is bliss. It's great to win when you're young. You don't care about what happened in the past. You care about the now, and the now is their chance to make some history themselves.
Roach touches under his arm, drives, and finishes.
Not bad defense, but an excellent jump stop by Roach there, really coming and enabling himself to finish strong over Brooke Roscoe at the rim.
Here's that pressure from the Wellington Saints. Darnay Samuel sticking to Tom Vodanovich like moss. Vodanovich looking to hand off to Ferguson. Instead, fires it back to Rusko. Little travel there from Brooke Rusko. Kenneth Tuppen doing well to stay in the passing lane.
Well, after a couple of tepid possessions defensively, the Saints have picked up the pace. They're locked in, really pressuring the Huskies out of their comfort zone. These catches are coming 4 or 5 feet outside the three-point line, and after a couple of easy looks early, it looks like things are going to be much more difficult the rest of the way.
There's Prewster almost toying with Zach Riley. Samuel. Barrow does well to hold him at least straight away. Might have got away with the hook there as Torrey Smith-Milner takes a lot of contact. Barrow with the board.
Excellent defense by Barrow to reposition and give himself the opportunity for that finish. Speaking of,
Vodanovich, Riley in the corner. Three ball from Zach Riley.
Well, nice job of looking ahead and making the pass before the defense can get sent, and then the unselfish play by Vodanovich enabling Riley to hit that corner three.
Smith-Milner straight out ahead for three. He can hit him. He's hit him all season, and he hits it tonight.
And just too easy leaving it to Tohi Smith-Milner at the top of the key. That is his favorite position, and will he be setting up shop all night long?
Tucky Ferguson not daunted by the late call into the starting lineup as he drives. Kerwin Roach though does brilliantly. As Nick Barrow hits the deck. It will be Huskies ball.
And Kerwin Roach just closed that angle so nicely there. It looked like it might have been a layup attempt by Tucky Ferguson, but the angle cut off forced him into almost a fadeaway, and then shows off that athleticism with the block. Not a deep team as we've seen from the Saints in recent years, but this front five, they are so talented.
Another youngster onto the court, Dante Russo-Nance, just 16 years old. Had a fantastic first season as a Husky, as Vodanovich has to put up the three with the shot clock expiring. There is Russo-Nance with the board. Riley driving, Prewster Defensive Player of the Year, showing why.
Aggressive move with the shot clock going down, but Dion Prewster teaching the youngster a thing.
Samuel for three, tickles the twine from the wing.
And Tom Vodanovich easily raises his hand. That's 2 uncontested triples in a row. Got to get a hand up, force the squad to put the ball on the floor.
Russo-Nance draws a foul from Kenneth Tuppen, his first.
And he sold it nicely. The contact was there, and it's been that way on a couple of the last possessions, but just forces his way through. Here we see the three. Hand down, man down. Thanks, Mark Jackson. There's Darnay Samuel. Drains it from deep.
Here's Barrow. Leon Henry into the game, and all over Nick Barrow. We have a foul.
Real physical off the ball right now from the Saints there. After that, as I mentioned, the initial push where things were easy, then getting in passing lanes now, they're using that physicality. And see Troy McLean and Leon Henry come in. Leon Henry in particular has been extremely physical upon his return to the league this year.
Here's Vodanovich. Samuel just picked up his first foul. Can Vodanovich get him to get a second? High arcing little hook almost as he floated across the lane.
Yeah, one-handed hook slash jump shot. Either way, aggressive move in the post. Nice strength shown.
The 2 veterans out there for the Saints then, Troy McLean and Leon Henry. Here's Prewster. Vodanovich ahead of him. 6 on the shot clock. McLean drains his first 3 ball.
3 triples in a row for the Saints. And the Huskies not doing a good enough job defensively on the perimeter. They have to take that away first. That is the preference of the Saints squad.
Here's Ferguson. Step back long two over Dane Samuel. Barrow working hard for the rebound, but Prewster comes down with it. Dante Russo-Nance just picks his pocket.
Take that, MVP. Give me that pocket change too as I score 2.
He is literally double his age. 32 to 16, and Dante Russo-Nance came away with that one in the easy bucket. Was playing almost 40 minutes of game down at the under-17 Nationals just last weekend, Russo-Nance. Vodanovic doing a good job here on Prewster, but Prewster with the hesitation and the finish gets the last laugh.
Well, the patience shown this year. And I think that's where Dion Prewster's really developed this, is understanding the game. The patience after having that first move taken away to stick with it and go straight back to the cup for that finish.
Russo-Nance to 3. Off to the right, just McLean with the board. And it's the Saints who lead by 5, just under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Henry hands it off to Tuffin. He elevates into his left-handed jump shot. Henry with the hustle, but it will remain Huskies' possession.
I like the energy Leon Henry's bringing in early, but Huskies got to just knuckle down on the details right now. They're missing a couple of box outs. They're not getting over screens. It's led to a few easy shots and an offensive explosion over the last few plays.
So timeout here. The Huskies want to talk it over.
New people in, K, you're in. On this.
5-point game in Wellington's favour.
I think we're good for now. I'll just try and get Zach to recover back to that one.
And just before that timeout, Casey, we saw young Ezra Viang-Afa step out onto the court. And so Zika Coronel perhaps going further down this bench than he normally would. Is that to do with potentially, and hopefully from their point of view, back-to-back games?
I'd say a little bit. You have to keep that in the back of your mind as long as the things are going well. You don't want to have to spend 36 minutes on the court with your starters.
Obviously, our first option is to beat the pressure and look to score. All right? Make sure if that's available, we have our guys locked and loaded like we had with Zach with that 3. That was a great job. If it's a walk-up situation, Son at that first one, we're doing a great job of attacking their hips. Everything's open. We got Nick on that one. We unfortunately missed one with Brooke, but those options are available. Hey, defensively, we're in 3. Taki at the top, Zach and Sean at the bottom, on the wing. Sean and Tommy on the back, and you 2 on the wings. Here we go. 3, 1, 2, 3. Team.
So 15-10, and Aaron Young pretty happy with what he's seen. Just little things executional-wise. Casey?
Well, I think in a game like this, even if he is unhappy, he's got to push it up, because one thing he shouldn't be happy with is these triples that are raining. It's raining outside. It's raining even more inside. But those threes need to be stopped by the Huskies. They got to find a way to pressure that perimeter.
Certainly was raining outside. Drenched walking into the stadium. Here's Tom Vodanovic. Round Leon Henry. And what a finish that is from Tom Vodanovic, last year's MVP at the Showdown.
He's doing it in the post. I love the showing off the handle and finishing over Tohi Smith-Milner with a little floater.
And you can't leave Troy McLean wide open, in case you just spoke about wide open threes, and just like that, the Saints have another one.
T-Roy doing it again. He told me to be kind to him in tonight's commentary. I have no choice, but the way he's shooting the basketball, he's looking like an ageless wonder.
What a pass from Riley to Ferrenson, 2 young Aucklanders combining for the Huskies.
Ferrenson doing well against the physicality of Roach to shed it and get that finish under the basket there.
Henry catch and shoot. Can he join the 3-point party? You bet he can. The 6-time champ from downtown.
Well, slowing the rotations out of the zone, not enough chat and not setting up early enough as Leon Henry gets a hand in things. But right now, the Huskies in this zone defense have to get a little bit more aggressive and stretch out to that 3-point line. Right now, they're playing basketball defense against a team that can't shoot, but this team shoots it better than anybody in the league, and you have to take that away first.
Russo-Nance. Young Ezra Viang-Afa on him. Just about a backcourt violation. Did well to keep it in. Here's Sean Murphy. Thought about the 3, instead puts it on the floor. Goes at Tory Smith-Milner. Good defense from the Tall Black vet.
Well, I like the decision by Murphy to attack Smith-Milner on the drive. That's got to get that finish.
Here's Kerwin Roach. Riley trying to stay in front of him, not doing so on this occasion.
Shows that elite athleticism. Looks like he's going away from the basket and in a flash explodes to the rim for the finish.
Foul at half court from Leon Henry.
That's the 4th team foul. Will be free throws after this, but you can can see the strategy, just putting a lot of pressure on Tom Vodanovic to try and tire him out. They know the offense has to come from that man, and they're going to make it difficult while it does.
Dion Samuel back into the game. Here's Murphy. Russo Nance working hard off the ball and being rewarded for it with a nice move and a nice finish.
Yeah, that's just too easy. Zico Cornell tried to get a timeout because he did not like that, but it probably will come after this bucket if he's not happy with it.
Samuel. Roach looking inside. Mismatch down low. Tommy Smith-Milner takes full advantage.
Happy with the offense, so he'll let that timeout sit in his pocket. Nice strong move by Tohi.
Here's Russo Nance. Fires it over to Farrington in the corner in front of his bench. Riley with the offensive rebound. Could have gone straight back up. Instead, they reset to the Huskies. Vodanovic glances at the shot clock. Fires from three-point range. Tom Vodanovic and Tommy Smith-Milner shakes his head.
Well, I really like that second chance opportunity created by Zach Riley. Crashes. He didn't take the easy one to finish, but look at this little sidestep of Vodanovic for the triple. Right with a hand right in his face, man. He couldn't see anything except net as it went through it.
So the Saints are going to talk it over, as the officials are as well. 2 games of basketball, of course, tonight. Casey Frank, let's listen in to Zico Cornell.
All year, bottom hit the now, and you get back to it for a layup. Box them out.
Just don't assume we're going to get the rebound. I go for every time. Don't worry about it. I go for every time. I've been doing for the
Yo, do our job, and do the defense that we're supposed to play, right? Not what we're do our other plan. Right? Come on now. I had it in like.
Zico Cornell, not saying too much to his team there. Kerwin Roach Jr. doing all the talk, and we can head over to Megan Compain, who was listening into the Huskies timeout.
Well, I was listening, and I feel like I'm eavesdropping, but they're happy with what they're seeing out there. And it was Coach Tom that took the timeout. He said they're outworking the Saints right now. He's trying to G up his team and give them a lot of confidence going into the end of this first quarter. What they're going to do now is stay man-to-man, and they're going to watch for that low switch and stay on that three-point line.
Well, they got to get there first.
There's that Riley, and that came off his foot. Spotted by eagle-eyed referees.
Love his work rate on the defensive end of things. Still a young fella, but just throws his nose in there and gets physical with things, play after play. Guarding Kerwin Roach Jr. right now, and that is not an easy task for anybody.
Chris McIntosh is again, and there's the easiest bucket of the night. Nice pass from Ezra Afa to Tohi.
Yeah, great pass by Afa for that, and the finish with ease. Such a soft touch for a big fella.
Murphy to a cutting Riley. He works hard on Roach, but Roach and Toy Smith-Milner with a big board.
The physicality is a little bit extra in finals time, getting away with a bit more contact than usual.
Oh, there's Samuel. Hands it off to McLean. I don't want to give him another 3 ball. And nearly did. Let's go to foul.
Yeah.
Off the ball. Chris McIntosh called for the foul.
Chris McIntosh had that size disadvantage there and got a little bit too handsy. Can't grab guys as they're trying to post you up, even if you are giving up 9 inches and about 35 kilo.
Here's Vaiafa. Looking for the same play potentially. Instead, they go back to Toy, and Toy's been called for a push-off on Zach Riley.
Well, he's extending that arm, and something he did not need to do is he picks up his second personal foul. Zach Riley, though, that's that physicality and that aggression defensively that he sticks with. He's got a size mismatch, but he just sticks his nose in there and baits Tohi Smith-Milner into the foul. Not great for the Saints to pick up a second on him here in the first quarter.
So 35 seconds to go in this first quarter. Dante Russo Nance will look inside for Tom Vodanovic. Faces up from Dion Samuel. Teammates last year for the Manawatu Jets.
Oh, slap galore. He gets away with it, though. When we see a ball pop up like that, it's got to be contact on the arm, but no whistle forthcoming.
So the Saints will hold for the final shot of this first quarter. Here's Roach. Managing the shot clock. Turns on the Jets. McLean, pump fake, shot up. This time it doesn't go. And that'll do us for the first quarter of action here in the first semi-final of the Sal's NBL in 2021. 27-19, it's the Wellington Saints who lead on the back of some red-hot three-point shooting. They are 5 for 8 from downtown. And it shows in that scoreline there, Casey Frank.
Well, that's where all the damage is being done. 5 for 8, 63%. They've done a nice job doing okay on the rebounds, taking care of the basketball decently, but that is the difference right now, the inability to guard that three-point line. They've made 3 more, and that 9-point difference is the deficit the Huskies are facing right now, down 8. This is a pace that the Saints got to be happy with. Nearly 30 points in the first quarter, exactly what they're looking for.
Down there, it comes from Dane working, it comes from Lee working, it also comes from guards being active with their hands and making it hard for the feeders. Right, so we need to see this. Let's go away from up 4 a little bit here, right? Come to some side series, right? So let's look at some side 4 for Kerwin, right? Downhill it, a lot of pressure on the rim, right? And let's look at some.
Let's have a look at the tail of the tape from the first quarter. And it was relatively even, the Casey Frank, apart from those three-point shooting percentages.
That's the difference. The inability to guard the three-point line for the Huskies right now. It's a tough ask to guard them outside with the strength they have on the interior. But yeah, that's where their bread is buttered. You take that away first and force them to go the other direction. A few too many turnovers for the Saints, but a couple of those were early. They settled down a bit after that. Defense solid for both squads, but if the Huskies, if they're honest about things, speaking to us, they'd want to see those three-pointers switch. They want to get the one with more attempts, really.
Well, Megan, we spoke about the three-point barrage that the Saints dropped on the Bulls last weekend, and they're in danger of doing it on the Huskies tonight.
They are, and they've been doing it all season, to be fair. I mean, 29 is a pretty... Yeah, that's just going a little bit crazy, getting a bit greedy, but they've been shooting the ball well all season. They shoot over 60% from two-point line, almost 50% from three-point line. That is exceptional in professional basketball. And I must say, I've got to give a shout-out to the veteran, the Yoda, the guru, Troy McLean. He's
Still doing it.
Tom Bogdanovic gets us underway in the second quarter with a three-pointer, and we can talk quickly to the head coach of the Auckland Huskies, Aaron Young. And Aaron, a lot of disruption the last couple of weeks for you, losing Chris Johnson and tonight losing Justin Bibbs. So a lot of faith out there in the youngsters.
Oh yeah, always. Why not? They've had a great season. So next man up, and I know they're going to step up.
Easy when they're playing with house money, those young fellas. But looking at your offensive efficiency right now, you've really relying heavily on Tommy V for 12 points already early in the second quarter. Do you think he'll be able to keep up this pace if you lean on him this heavily for the entirety of the game?
Yeah, but I don't think that it's just going to be on him. I think everyone on the floor is capable of putting up big numbers. It's more on the defensive, and we've just got to be a little bit more physical and tough. So we'll see.
Appreciate your time, Aaron. Coach Aaron Young of the Auckland Huskies. As Brooke Rusko re-enters the game, the captain of the Huskies. What a season it's been for Brooke Rusko. If it wasn't for the phenomenal comeback of Alex Pledger, Brooke Rusko would have been the comeback kid this year after so many years out of the game.
Just a lot of storylines this year, and it's been great to see Brooke come back into things. A former teammate of mine, both in Auckland, but also with the Tall Blacks, and to see him dedicate himself back to getting in shape and playing at this level again has been a great thing to watch.
And a free possession for the Saints after Tuffin gets the offensive board. And here comes Kerwin Roach. Straight down Main Street, and the Huskies come up with it through Tom Bogdanovic. His almost trademark little goose step as he makes his way up the court. Here's Riley. Slashing, bumping off Tuffin and getting a friendly bounce.
Just has a nose for contact. He found it on Tuffin and sheds him for that finish. Good aggressive move created by the Bogdanovic penetration. And the Huskies hanging around just down 3, doing a nice job to fight their way back into things.
There's Tuffin slapped away by Russo Nance. Tuffin for 3. Oh, just like that, the Saints turn a mistake into 3 points.
Yeah, that's the folly of youth there. You seconds left on the shot clock, forced them to create something. Instead, they created it for him.
Rusco can't let his lad to go. Barrow with the ball, but the foot net is too strong.
Just rushed that shot. He had plenty of time, only guards around him, but a bit too much time in the weight room. Just throws it over the rim.
Here's Prewster. Again, Russo Nance getting a hand in there defensively, poking the ball loose. Not this time, though, as Prewster fires over to Kerwin Roach, and another wide-open three for the Saints, and another offensive rebound, too.
Well, when you're gifted with a miss, you can't give up the second chance opportunity. That'll make this team impossible to defend.
Darnay Samuel drops it down to Roach. We have a foul called on Dante Russo Nance.
Oh, that's tough to take an elbow and get sent to the ground and get called for a foul. A little bit of confusion on Dante Russo Nance's face. Let's see where the action hit. And yeah, he just reaches around there, gets the slap on the arm. Nice help by Nick Barrow to take away what would have been a sure-fire two-point opportunity on that.
Just 16 years old, Dante Russo Nance. What a look at that picture of Darnay Samuel. He's that scared me as we get back into the action. Prewster for three. This one goes as well. The Saints three-point attack continues.
The penetration and the kickouts there are just always set up on the three-point line, and the Huskies are getting sucked in defensively as Tom Vodanovich gets called for an illegal screen. Not what you wanted to turn over that far away, and you see once again the difference in the three points doubled up right now are the Saints over the Huskies. As it looks like we're going to have a timeout to the Huskies as Aaron Young needs to discuss things. They cut things to three, and just like that, a quick 5-point explosion. Look at this. Nobody around Dion Prewster on that penetration. Everybody got sucked into the paint by Kerwin Roach Jr. on that one. And there, Tom Vodanovich, I mean, it's the finals. Come on, man. Let's lay a little bit of wood. Gotta earn those fouls. Can't be given gifts like that.
And the O-boards, 2 O-boards gave them life after we gave up. We played decent defense. We clean that shit up, we'll be all right. Individual scout on Dion. We got to make sure we're pushing him left in the middle of the floor. We're playing him square. Screen comes, he's rejecting that every time because he's going strong hand. Force him left. Our switches have been good. I like the ones where we can get under. If you go under and they re-screen, fight over that one and then switch it. Then we can rely on switching back underneath. All right? Possession down here, we're getting a Sonny. Tommy, you bring it up. Dante, you set the cross screen.
Well, Aaron Young making specific mention about those 2 offensive rebounds they gave up after some good defense. What did the Wellington Saints say in their timeout that's here from Megan Compain?
Zico's pretty happy with obviously the three-point line and how hot it's been for the Saints right now, but his message to the team right then was don't rest on that laurel. They need to make sure they continue to attack the basket, set the screens hard up front, and look for that cutting player when the switch is on, because there's some really big mismatches underneath that are coming through.
Prewster throws it straight into the gut of Dante Russo Nance. Good defense from Tom Vodanovich.
Bad decision there. Gave up a layup trying to create something extra.
Vodanovich just pulls up on Darnay Samuel and drains the 3-ball.
Man, strap it on your back, Tommy V. I know Aaron Young said offense is coming from other areas, but it's coming from one man right now. He's got 15 of the 27. He's got to bring more.
He is 6 for 7 from the field, 3 for 4 from beyond the arc. The 2020 Showdown MVP, member of the Sydney Kings, is showing out tonight. Here's Samuel looking to repay the favor. Short. Another offensive rebound. Great work by Leon Henry. Shot clock violation.
But you see how they took them off the three-point line there. He had the shot fake and put it back down. Got him a little bit uncomfortable with the great hustle. Ends up in an air ball. The Saints, great save by Leon Henry, but no time to do anything with it. Excellent defensive possession coming out of the timeout by the Huskies there.
It may have hit the rim. Zico Coronel was protesting. Meanwhile, a 3-ball for Zach Riley.
Quick offense, lovely penetration and pass by Dante Russo Nance to create that one.
Prewster bumps off Riley.
He's getting a little agitated about the defensive pressure Zach Riley's giving to him.
Leon Henry, his 3-ball can't go. Rusco with the box out. And Kenneth Tuffin earns another foul.
It was a great sell by Kenneth Tuffin there. The play was out of it, but once you get those extended arms, that's an easy call to make. I like the aggressiveness by the Huskies. They got to do something to get back into it, but The sell by Kenneth Tuffin. Look at this. This extends the arms. And oh my gosh, the sniper hits real late. Brooke Roscoe's trying to argue it.
Well, a couple players there, Brooke Roscoe and Kenneth Tuffin, who have played a lot of basketball in this building.
What Kenneth Tuffin did so nicely there was he trapped Brooke Roscoe's hand in there. So Roscoe's actually trying to push him off to get his arm released, but they always catch the second guy, Brooke, especially Dallas Pickering. Trust me, I was always the second guy with Dallas. He always caught me.
Tuffin at the line, very impressive young man, was head boy at his school, St. Pat's. Played rugby, played cricket at a representative level. Been involved in wider training squads for the Filipino national team. Yet to make a decision on his FIBA nationality, on who he wishes to represent. Here's Riley. Great first step from Zach Riley. The lane opens up, and he gets the finish too.
How about that little move there? That was something. Explodes past Kenneth Tuffin, who has been excellent defensively this season. The Huskies right back in it.
That is a one-point game, Casey Frank. This is what we're here for. Semi-final basketball. Tuffin looking to make it a 4-point game. Rebound by Rusco. There's a great bit of feeling in this game. Big screen from Barrow. Rusco coast to coast.
Oh, what a screen by Nick Barrow. That's the kind of physicality that will make these defenders look the other way. And an excellent finish by Roscoe in the paint.
Well, you and I both run into many a Nick Barrow screen. I'm still feeling it years later as Prewster gets on back with that cool, calm, collected head of his.
Well, that's better. Last time he penetrated, he went and looked for the perimeter. But when you've done all the work, you're right there. Got to get those finishes. That's what's going to make those defenders respect that and come guard you in the paint.
Russo Nance showing his handles, and Leon Henry showing him a big palm on the wall.
That's what you do. You should do to these young fellas. I love to see the young boys come up and compete, but when a 16-year-old comes to the paint, you say, get that shot out of here. Right into the camera, right into your living rooms at home. Excellent play by Leon Henry, and he is fired up. Everybody's fired up, as you should be. Finals time, baby.
Started the season in retirement, did Leon Henry.
He's looking for title number 7. Just pick it up. If he gets one this year, I can see him going for 10.
Well, 9's the record. The great Para Cameron. Lindsay Tate, Dylan Boucher both have 7. Here's Riley driving baseline, firing it over, and that came off Kerwin Roach Jr. Well, it might have been reversed. It came off Kerwin Roach and then Dante Russo Nance.
Yeah, I thought from this angle I couldn't quite definitively see it, but that's what I thought there was a touch, then a second touch.
Well, Dallas Pickering was convinced. And it will be Saints ball.
If we see the pass by Zach Riley, great defense by Roach, and maybe not. Tough to tell from that angle.
Wasn't much argument from Dante Russo Nance.
Was young. He hasn't gotten that in his bag just yet.
Henry is not going to hesitate to shoot that 3 ball. That's short though, rebounded by Vodanovic. Immediately harangued by Henry.
Big possession here for the Huskies.
Tucker Ferentz ready to check in. Vodanovic takes the contact, gets the foul, and will go to the line to shoot 2. And he lets Leo Henry know all about it. It's a double technical.
That's silly. You know what? These are 2 guys who are playing. This is finals time. I don't like referees that are trying to take emotion out of the game. This is an emotional game. This is what they're here for. It's just yapping. There's nothing else in it. Great job by Tom Vodanovic to force Leon Henry to get into that one. Marty Davidson doesn't even hear what's being said. He calls 2 T's on it to slow things down. And that certainly hurts the Huskies much more than it does the Saints. Tom Vodanovic, he is player number A1 for the Huskies. Leon Henry heads back to the bench so he can cool down, but the Huskies don't have that luxury.
Just 1 foul on Vodanovic, 2 now on Henry. As Marty Davidson's going to come in.
But the key is that technical. A flagrant foul later in the game will see Tom Vodanovic knocked out of this one. So he's going to have to play much more carefully the rest of this one to make sure that he isn't pinged with one of those.
So Leon Henry moves to 3 fouls because he got a personal foul and then a technical foul. Tom Vodanovic just the technical foul. But he's on 2 fouls now, Tom Vodanovic as well. Tom Vodanovic at the line. Climbs to 16 points on the night.
He's delivering. You know, he was asked to, he'd have to be asked to carry a heavy load with a lack of imports and other premier talent in this squad right now, and 16 points in the first half. You couldn't ask for anything more.
Make it 17.
I guess you can ask for a little bit more. Just a wee little bit more.
And the Huskies lead by 1. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Prewster. What about the 3? McLean always thinking about the 3. But back to Prewster it goes. Smith-Milner wide open. Doesn't go, but Samuel's going to come down with the board.
Tony Smith-Milner been on the bench a long time with those 2 fouls, coming in a little bit cold on that one.
Prewster. Drive and dish. Samuel.
Oh, Dion Prewster shaken up.
Prewster being helped up by Vodanovic. As we have a foul on Nick Barrow. Prewster getting up just a little gingerly.
Well, that was a late call. Dion Prewster was on the ground for about 5 seconds. The shot went up, and then that call out of nowhere. I didn't see the elbow itself.
I think the foul was on the rebound of the shot. Okay, so as Nick Barrow there on Torrey Smith-Milner, I think was the foul.
Oh, that little tap to the jaw of Torrey Smith-Milner.
Torrey Smith-Milner's melon. It hit your elbow more than it hurt his face.
I don't know. It's a Nick Barrow elbow.
Yeah, true.
Those things are pointy.
Makes his first free throw, does Smith-Milner. And his second. Playing against his hometown team.
The bench has made a mistake on this one that they're going to have to clean up. They put the foul on Tom Vodanovic, which is where my confusion came from. But that foul should be on Nick Barrow. That was called there, not Tom Vodanovic. So they have to come in and see who that person was.
So there's that confusion I think you had as well, Casey, with the Prewster-Vodanovic tie-up, and then the Barrow Smith-Milner one.
So that's 1 on Nick Barrow and 2 on Tom Vodanovic. And Aaron
Young can play basketball.
Aaron Young can breathe easy again. I was a little pensive after that.
Here's Rusko, zigzagging his way through the Saints defense. Vodanovic, the 3, he's fouled as he shoots it by Troy McLean, so Tom Vodanovic will go to the line to shoot 3. Well, we saw his three-point shooting prowess last year at the Showdown. We had multiple 10 three-pointer games. That work that earned him a spot with the Sydney Kings as an injury replacement. And it was then that work that's earned him to be re-signed as a full contract player.
The way he's worked on his game and changed his position from when he went to the States, you know, he's essentially a center when he went off to University of Valparaiso in Indiana, and he came back and just honed his craft, you know, really worked on his handle and certainly his three-point shooting ability. And he's gone from a guy who you did not care if let it fly from out deep to one that you have to find at all times, and has earned himself and created himself a nice little niche as a scorer off the bench for the Sydney Kings.
Takes just one of his three free throws,
but he does tie it up. Locked in with 3:40 to go. Not where I thought the score would be at this point in the game.
Semi-final basketball. Here's Dane Samuel trying to get that other foul on Vodanovic. Can't though. Vodanovic comes down with the board.
Unbelievable D and body control by Tommy V.
Samuel pleading for the foul, but I think the referees were right on this occasion as Russo Nance rips through, drives at Samuel. Puts up a bit of a prayer in the end. Smith-Milner with the board.
Yeah, he was trying to avoid the contact. You got to go straight into the body of a shot blocker to take that ability away.
Here's Prewster dropping off to Smith-Milner. Let's come off Torhi's hand. I would say just a little bit rattled, Casey Free.
A little tight. They are looking. They're not playing with that free-flowing confidence we saw a week ago. Of course, last weekend they had a 60-point win and a 28-point win. So it's a little bit easier with that kind of pressure. And, you know, they have lost a couple of games, but most of their wins have been big-time wins. You know, they haven't had a ton of close games. Yeah, Prewster trying to manhandle.
I don't think he can have too many complaints about that, Dion Prewster.
He better watch out. He's going to get reported as SIFs. That's child abuse. Leave the young fellow alone.
He kind of just lost his footing, Prewster, and almost got into rugby tackle position.
And tried to argue, where's the foul?
There's Russo Nance. hair flowing behind him as he just so coolly kisses that off the glass.
Much better angle on the penetration there, not away from the basket, but right to it, making it an easier finish off the glass.
6 points for the 16-year-old.
And the Huskies with the lead.
By 2. Here's Kerwin Roach Jr. Lobs it up, and Tohi Smith-Milner goes and gets it.
Tohi Smith-Milner banging down that room. What a pass by Kerwin Roach Jr.
Here's Vidanovic. Prewster taking away that potent 3-ball. So they go to the low post for Vidanovic. Vidanovic draws the foul. Dion Prewster.
Dion Prewster not playing smart as he picks up possibly. Is that he's got 2 up there? Might be his 3rd upcoming. With this one.
In the meantime, we have a flop warning on Darnay Samuel.
And that is Dion Prewster's 3rd personal. What a pass by Kerwin Roach Jr. Excellent finish by Tohi Smith-Milner. Right into the living room once again. Love the backboard cam. On the other end, Dion Prewster, he's just got be a bit more judicious with his physicality. Picks up his 3rd personal, and he is so important to this Saints team. Now he's going to be sitting on 3 fouls. He cannot play with that same level of aggressiveness. I'm actually quite sorry. It's his 2nd personal. So only 2. So yeah, you can still go free flowing.
2 fouls with 2 minutes 26 to go in the second. As Vidanovic is back to the line.
And this time a little bit more successful. What a bounce back. Hits this one's going to be sitting on a 20-point half with 2 minutes to go.
And he makes it. So Tom Vidanovic has 20 points with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half.
What a half for him. Still 6 for 7 from the field. 3 for 4 from the 3-point line.
And the Saints find themselves down by 2. Here's Prewster. Round the Smith-Milner screen. Farrington with a good hand, but Roach Jr. 3 on the shot clock. Tries to find some space. Can't get it to go. Russo Nance with the ball and is clattered by the American. So that'll be Huskies' ball as Kerwin Roach slips on his own sweat.
But just the defensive effort of this Husky squad right now. Everybody's on a string. Great communication coming off screens. The switches are seamless. They're taking away the driving lanes late. They're rebounding well. And they have come to play today despite having a reduced lineup.
They don't want us to win. We got to go out there like Zico is here. Beat us.
Need to take a deep breath, calm down, focus, be in the moment, and focus on the job that's at hand and what needs to be done. We are so scrambled right now. We're off to the wind, talking in all our own little worlds. Come together. Every time there's a chance to huddle, come together. What's the next play? What are we going to do? Focus in, right? The magic is in the work. If you don't work, the scoreboard's going to be like this. If you work, the scoreboard will be like it was when we were dominating them at the start of the game. Which one do you want to be?
Let's go fast. Let's go fast. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Well, Casey, it hasn't been too often this season. We've seen that side of Zico Coronel, normally very much an X's and O's, an individual scout kind of coach, but really going into the human side of his team there in the semi-final.
Excellent leadership there, and we mentioned it a couple moments ago that this was a rattled team, that they didn't look as comfortable as they need to be right now. He noticed it. He brought them in. It's not the X's and O's for them right now. They have to settle. They have to concentrate on getting good shots. They're being sucked in different directions right now. They're worried about the refs. They're worried about contact. They just need to worry about their games and do what they can do.
Russo Nance, meanwhile, extends the Huskies' slender lead. (43-39).
Building on it nicely. Dante Russo Nance looking to be the 3rd scorer in double figures to go with Tom Vidanovic and Zach Riley with 2 more points. He's got 8 now.
McLean looked to turn the corner, instead hands it off to Roach. Here's Prewster. Samuel with the screen. McLean for 3. That one doesn't go. Rebounded by Vidanovic, who's off to the races. Pulls up from 3. Gets it to go. Thomas Vidanovic is putting on a show for the Huskies here in semi-final number Prewster, Riley, and Samuel going at it down low. And Zach Riley copped an elbow to the back of the head there. Looked pretty nasty. I'm sure we'll have a replay of it.
It's possible that could be unsportsmanlike as well. And he literally just slams him in the back of the head. We lost the angle there. Nice offense, but just smashed in the back of the dome.
It is an unsportsmanlike foul.
Yeah, that's away from the basketball. Donnie Samuel getting baited into that physicality.
And Zach Riley and Tico Coronel going at it. Well, Coach, if you ask me, we'll have another look at it. There's a case here.
We got the coaches scrapping it on the sideline right now as well. That's a
Samuel.
play.
Have a look at this replay here. There's a chance to say Dion Samuel's lucky to still be in this game, Casey Frank.
No, that's unsportsmanlike. If I was an official and they got a second view at that, I think he'd probably be ejected. I think after the game they may take a look at that, and if the Saints do win tonight, I'm not sure he'll be available for the final tomorrow. It's not a basketball play. He lined it up. He looked right at it. He threw it right into his head. He's very lucky to still be in this ball game.
Zach Riley makes them pay for 2 points. 48-42.
And that's one aspect of Donnie Samuel's game that he is going to have to clean up. You know, he's getting baited into that physical game with an 18-year-old. That's exactly what they want. You have to be smarter than that.
That pass from Vujanovic was read beautifully by Prewster. And here is Samuel, still in the game. Driving, skipping down the lane, and Donnie Samuel finishes at the hoop.
Well,
here's Riley. Vujanovic from downtown. Doesn't go. Smith-Milner with a big rebound.
the Saints with a chance to settle here and get a couple of good possessions and tie this one up with 40 seconds left.
There is certainly plenty of feeling in this game. Here's Kerwin Roach Jr. on the wing. Driving to the hoop. McLean, beautiful pass fake. Stripped by Dante Russo-Nance. He's got Zach Riley to his right. He goes himself, but he finishes as well.
The teenage fast break. Only 33 years between them. What a finish on the run. Excellent read by Dante Russo-Nance to get into that passing lane, create that opportunity. Zach Riley running the lane to force Dion Prewster to try and defend too, and that opens up his ability to finish. Just great hands once again by Dante Russo-Nance. He has been excellent defensively in the first half, and there you see his 10th point of the ball game as he tweaks the ankle. He's hobbled a little bit.
I'll tell you what that is. Like I said, he played 40 minutes a game down at the Under-17 Nationals. I did question it when I was watching because he was hobbling a little bit down there by the end of that tournament. He put his association on his back, made the tournament team, but at what cost for the Huskies tonight as Prewster slips, but still manages to slide through the defense, everything but the finish. That Riley as time expires. And what a first half of basketball in the first semi-final here on Final Four night. Katie Brentford bouncing here in Coventry Plaza. It is the Auckland Huskies who lead the Wellington Saints 50-44 at halftime. What a first half we've had. Thomas Vujanovic leading the way for his team with 23 points against his hometown team, remember. See him there taking a drink. We can head over to Megan Compain, who's with the veteran from the Saints, Troy McLean.
So Troy, it's probably a tale of the two quarters, right? You guys own the first one and the second one. How's it going to go in the third quarter?
Yeah, we just have to reset, back to 0-0, trying to get some better containment on this guy over here. But yeah, try and get back to what we were doing in the first.
Well, you guys certainly have a lot of experience from the bench, and you're here. How's that going to play out when this becomes a close game in a semi-final like this?
Yeah, I think we're kind of banking on our experience, making sure that we stay calm, collected, getting back to the process, back to the system that we want to run, and getting the good looks, and then getting stops on the defensive end.
You got the crowd behind you, so good luck for the second half. Straight into it, eh? So, Tom, what a second quarter, sorry. How's it feel out there? Is the physicality part of the game plan up front?
well, you know, we sort of like games like this. Everyone loves a game where the refs are sort of putting their whistle ways a bit, and it's great. I mean, I think both teams are competing. You know, we're having to battle for each basket, so yeah, it's good, fun basketball.
Well, things are falling for you, but you've also got a lot of young talent around you. How's that been through the season, and you're coming into finals basketball? How are you going to bring them in for the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great having them. I mean, I'm one of the oldest on the team now, and I'm still hopefully young. So, I mean, the energy that they bring every day is incredible, and for us to be able to follow them, I mean, it gives us all energy. So, yeah, if they bring the same thing in the second half, then we'll be in a good place.
Well, you've given us a hell of a game so far, so good luck for the second half, Tom.
He certainly has, Megan. Tom Vodanovic heads to the locker room with 23 points to his name. It is half-time, and the Auckland Huskies have a surprise lead over the Wellington Saints, 50-44, semi-final one, half-time here at Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua. We'll be back after the break.
Hi, Nora. You're in heaven.
That's tight! Was that raccoon? Ow! Ah! Yes!
The Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 are on.
Be proud, Kiwis. These are your Olympic champions.
And as the official broadcaster, all the action is on Sky.
With 12 channels of Olympic Games coverage.
From swimming to gymnastics.
Rowing to cycling.
Our expert team on the ground in Tokyo will bring you analysis of all the big moments.
And as a Sky Sport customer, you can download the Sky Olympic video player and immerse yourself in every moment, live and on demand.
With Sky's coverage, you'll feel like an expert at Tokyo 2020.
Coverage brought to you by ANZ.
Trying to predict the future is a discouraging and hazardous occupation. Only if what I tell you appears absolutely unbelievable have we any chance of visualizing the future as it really will happen. The only thing we can be sure of about the future is that it will be absolutely fantastic.
Well, welcome back to Te Rauparaha Arena. The halftime entertainment underway here. Semi-final one between the Huskies and the Saints. And a bit of an upset on the card so far. 50-44. Hugh Baden here alongside Megan Compain and Casey Franken. And almost a little bit lucky for the Saints, Casey Frank, to still have a full complement of player after an elbow from Dane Samuel.
Yeah, that's a play that's not within the realm of basketball. You can see him line it up and hit him with the back of the head. I think he's quite fortunate that the referees didn't get together and eject him on that one. As it were, he's going to be looking at that intentional foul or that unsportsmanlike foul and possibly be sent to the judiciary tonight.
Certainly is. Well, we'll move away from that and get back to the basketball. 50-44, and it's really been all about a Wellington kid playing for the Huskies, Tom Vodanovic.
Well, Tommy V has come out and he has carried this offense in his back. I've really loved his aggressiveness, and it's not just been down low in the paint showing off his strength, but especially from down behind the three-point line. He's been really selective with when he wants to press things. He's reading the matchup, taking exactly what the defense gives him, and with that offense created, he's opened up opportunities for the youth around him, joining double figures by Russo Nance and Zach Raleigh, but he is leading the way all over the court. Love his energy, love his enthusiasm. But how about what Tohi Smith-Miller's been able to do for the Wellington Saints tonight, Megan?
Well, he's been able to do it on not many minutes too, as you say. He's been on the bench for a lot of that with picking up 2 fouls early, but I just love the fact that these big shoot outside in the three. They can make their presence. Certainly found that they've seen inside. We talked to Tom at halftime, and he did talk about the physicality of the game. That is certainly coming through with the elbows, the passion, and Tohi Smith-Milner. We're looking forward to seeing a lot more of him in the second half.
Well, we look at the stats, and you can have a look at them on your screens at home. But Megan, really, for the Saints, it's been about composure. We know how talented a team they are, and it was really rare to see Zico Coronel use a whole timeout to talk about being composed.
That's right. You look at the stat line, you know, they're not actually playing that badly. The Huskies are playing incredibly well, but that's telling stat 9 turnovers. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. You've got to look after the ball. This is finals basketball, that you cannot afford to turn the ball over, because you're going to not just turn it over, you're going to be paying for it down the other end of the court.
That 55% from three-point line as well, Casey. Pretty handy for the Huskies as we have a look at the shot chart for the Wellington Saints case.
And a lot of that damage done in the first quarter. The second quarter, things got much more difficult. That's what the chart for the Saints looks like all year long. All the rim, all behind the three-point line, nothing in the mid-range. And the Huskies needed to find a way to take a little bit away from one of those areas, preferably the three-point line.
And Megan, the Huskies won, not dissimilar, but a bit of action on the three-point line in that second quarter.
A lot of action on the three-point line. As you say, second quarter, the first quarter, they were getting a lot of contested looks under the basket. They were managing to cut hard, get to the hoop, and make them pay.
50 points to 44, and it's the Auckland Huskies who lead the Wellington Saints here at halftime. Te Rauparaha Arena in Porirua, semi-final one of the South NBL. The third quarter coming up after the break, right here on the home of sport, Sky Sport.
A storm is coming to our shores. Ferocious, relentless, wild. Defend home turf. The Bledisloe Cup and the Rugby Championship, only on Sky Sport.
Cookie people, cream people, crumbs people, clean people, twist people, lick people, dunk people, munch people. It's on the play, people. If you twist, lick, dunk, then you're my people. We are Oreo people.
Most people think that having heat pumps in multiple rooms means having many outdoor units too. But with Mitsubishi Electric's OmniCore range, you only need one. Inside, you can choose from the Designer Series, super efficient floor consoles, the striking Black Diamond Series, or a new compact mini, ideal for tight spaces. So now you can heat multiple rooms up to 8 with just one Mitsubishi Electric OmniCore.
Mitsubishi Electric.
At Sky, we do our best to comply with the broadcasting codes of practice. But if you think we've breached a standard, you can send us a formal complaint. You'll need to mention the name of the program, the date and time it aired, and the standard you think has been breached within 20 working days of the broadcast. Send your letter to this address or go to sky.co.nz/complaints. We'll review the complaint and get back to you once a decision has been made.
With over 60,000 donations so far, your generosity is making a difference. There's a glass and a half in everyone.
Climb into your adventure with Suzuki Jimny.
Domino's Domino's everyday value range is now 3 times as good because it's now in 3 sizes, starting from an unbelievable $3.99. All your favourite value range recipes now from just $3.99. Domino's all-new value range. Bring it in.
Your Warriors are ready to defy impossible.
In 2021, we're all in.
Welcome back to Te Rauparaha Arena, where the Huskies lead the Saints 50-44, half-time in the first semi-final of the Sales NBL, proudly presented by GJ Gardner Homes. And the Huskies certainly weren't favoured to go up in this one, but up they are, and a lot of it through the young work of young Zach Riley. Casey.
Well, he's done it on both ends of the court, defensively and offensively, but they knew they were going to be searching for some offensive answers with Bibbs out, and Zach Riley and Dante Russo-Nance have stepped up. Zach Riley penetrating, finding contact, hitting it, going out to that three-point line in the corner. His teammates are looking for him. He's been successful from there, but his aggressiveness with the ball in hand is something that the Huskies would be missing sorely without Bibbs, and are happy to have from the young fella, Zach Riley. Looking not too bad after taking that boat to the dome.
See the eyes of Zach Riley in the head of this one. The third quarter about to get underway. Darnay Samuel, perhaps lucky to still be in this game, will inbound the ball.
I'm really interested to see what these first 5 minutes look like for the Saints. Did they get under control? They got their emotions in check now to come out here in the second half.
Smith-Milner three, drains it. Good start for the men in blue.
Well, the second half starts how the first half started. Tohi Smith-Milner from deep, too much space at the three-point line, and he is continuing his hot shooting ways in limited minutes. 17 points already on 6 for 9 from the field.
Here's Russo-Nance driving at Smith-Milner, who does well and does enough to force that shot just a little bit wide.
Yeah, it was his defensive intensity at the rim that forced that to just be arced a little bit too high.
Prewster, that's come off Smith-Milner.
Really nice job by Taki Ferentsen there to recover off that switch and get his hand in the passing lane. Didn't see the ball at all, but the activity with his arms created a turnover.
Taki Ferentsen thrust into the starting lineup at the last possible moment with Justin Bibbs failing a pre-game fitness test. There he is, but it's come off Ferentsen, so Saints ball. Rumours that he's heading over to Europe after this season, Taki Ferentsen.
Nice. He's got a lot of length and athleticism. So much young talent in the league this year. When you're voting for the Young Player of the Year, I did not know all those guys were under 21.
There's Prewster. The Youth Player of the Year, Zach Riley on him. Here's Kenneth Tuffin from the corner for three, so back-to-back threes to start this third quarter for the Wellington Saints.
Real nice patience shown offensively out the gates here by the Saints, penetrating, drawing the defense into that painted area, and then finding the shooters out on the perimeter. Exactly how they started, but can they be consistent here in the second half?
50 points apiece. There's Nick Barrow, looks for a teammate and finds one in Tom Mladenovic. He just gives that ball away. Smith-Milner trailing. And a reset through there. MVP, Dion Prewster. Kerwin Roach down to Samuel. Riley with the help, but that leaves Kerwin Roach wide open, and he takes full advantage.
Oh, what a heads-up cut by Kerwin Roach there. Zach Riley a little too aggressive. He can't double straight off one pass away and create that opportunity as Donnie Samuel gets called for the foul.
Mladenovic drawing the foul of his former teammate. 3 fouls now for Darnay.
There you see a beautiful bounce pass and the high-flying Kerwin Roach Jr. Spends a lot of time over the rim this season. Always love to see his athleticism in action.
Back underway. Here's Brooke Rusko. Mladenovic trying to get free. As is Riley. Riley put Prewster on his back down the lane. A lot of contact with the finish. And Zach Riley is fired up. He'll go to the line for one more.
Well, he came on that screen, knew exactly where the defender was. was trailing, so he curls right into that layup. The pass by Brooke Roscoe leads him right into it. Defense a little bit late, and you love that aggressive mindset straight through multiple defenders. All the bigs are up high, so it's guards at the rim contesting, which makes it a little bit easier for the young fella to get the finish.
Can't convert the three-point play. Zach Riley on 14 points, 5 of 8 from the field.
Big discrepancy in the free throws right now between the Huskies and the Saints. 14 attempts for Auckland. They've hit 10, only 3 for 4 for the Saints.
Kerwin Roach looking to turn the corner, gets Barrow to bite, and a nice finish from Kerwin Roach, who kept his pivot foot.
A lovely Hakeem Olajuwon move there, show him the ball to get him by. Thought he might have dragged the foot, but he gets away with it.
Speaking of the foot, Brooke Roscoe just bounces out on his own foot. And he's not in the best of shape there, Brooke Roscoe.
Yeah, it looks like he might have tweaked it. Coming up hobbling. He's trying to stay in this one, but looks like the sub's coming in for him now. Dante Russo-Nance.
Roscoe makes his way to the bench, and young Russo-Nance comes onto the hardwood.
Really like the defensive mindset of the Saints. You know, they went away from that full court pressure in the second quarter after getting burned by it, but they're back to it, and the physicality is causing problems.
Tuffin thought about the three. Almost left the ground. Instead, he sets the screen for Prewster. Smith Milner won't think twice about it. Big rebound from Tom Bogdanovic.
Did a late challenge there by Nick Barrow. Going to open up some driving opportunities for Tony Smith Milner as the game goes along.
Here's Barrow. Backing down Smith Milner. Off the glass, Nick Barrow the old-fashioned way.
It's through a lot of contact, but the strength of Nick Barrow eventually gets it over the line and into the bucket.
Pushed up around the Tuffin screen. Smith Milner. This time he doesn't shoot. Dane Samuel, though, is short. Prewster with the long rebound.
The Saints essentially keeping 5 guys on the glass there. Nobody back in transition.
The 9th offensive rebound, though, as Kerwin Roach elevates from three-point land. This one does go.
Second chance opportunities. That is exactly what the Saints need, and the last thing the Huskies are looking for. They have to do a much better job on the glass.
Big screen from Bogdanovic in the backcourt. Riley drops it off to Barrow. He gets it to finish.
Through the contact of Roach. Fast break opportunities, and those kind of quick hitters are going to make the Saints peel off on that full court pressure.
57-56. This has been a thrilling semi-final so far. 4 on the shot clock. Roach Jr. makes another one.
Just got lost defensively. Nobody guarded him. By the time the ball got there and the Huskies realized it was too late.
Bogdanovic might look to draw another foul. Dane Samuel. Instead he finds Nick Barrow. Great work from Riley off the ball. It comes off his leg after the pass from Barrow.
Well, the Saints have upped the physicality just a bit. Really opening up some opportunities for backdoor cuts, but that time there, the pass just could not be delivered with pinpoint accuracy, leading to another turnover.
Troy McLean in the game as Kenneth Tuffin takes the seat. Prewster brings the ball up for the Saints. Pat Riley swiping at it. Here's Roach. Tucky Ferguson on him. Samuel on the wing. Tucks it under his arm to the hoop. Smith Milner, right place, right time.
Well, they're just bullying the Huskies right now with physicality. They're sending everybody to the glass, and they're using their strength to get buckets.
Speaking of bullying, there's Tom Bogdanovic working hard, finishing off the glass and getting another foul on Dane Samuel, the 4th.
A very, very timely response. And even bigger is getting that foul on Dane Samuel, sending him to the bench. What a finish through contact.
And we have a timeout here as Dane Samuel picks up his 4th foul, still protests his innocence.
As Shakespeare said, he thinks he don't protest too much.
Media timeout here at Te Rauparaha Arena. 62-58, the Saints lead the Huskies.
And it's guard to guard, right? So we can switch that.
And we've seen similar start to the third quarter as we saw from in the first, and then we can hear Coach
Zip
Aaron Young.
action, they're kicking it back, and it's guard to guard. We can switch that, and then the on-ball screen, that one, we can, because they're coming off it so hard, get under that, and then pop, right? That's still one that we can pop with Tohi, and then we can obviously green that one, right? We're just getting into this stuff. There's not a lot of resistance from us. We got to have a little bit more grit with what we do defensively. There's been a couple of loose balls in the corners. We got to come up with those. Offensively, stay in gets, let the ball, just keep attacking their hips. Let's go.
D, 1, 2, 3. D. Go, boy. Go, boy.
As you saw that graphic pop up there, this is just game 1 of 2 tonight. The other semi-final coming away from around 8 p.m. between the Hawke's Bay Hawks and the Southland Sharks. What a game that promises to be. And then the grand final, of course, tomorrow from 7:30 live on Sky Sport 2. Which one of these two teams will suit up again tomorrow night? Will it be the Wellington Saints or the Auckland Huskies? Tom Vodanovich at the line, looking to add to his 25 points midway through the third quarter.
He is delivering. I love what he's bringing to this ball game. Saving the best for last.
62-58. Here come the Wellington Saints. Leon Henry on the court now. Here's McLean, unleashing from long range. Rebound by Vodanovich. Rebound number 6 for the one they call Tommy B. Elevates into a 3-ball. Henry with a good hand.
I don't mind the heat check, but with the pressure he's putting on the bigs, I'd love to see him do a little bit more attacking of the rim.
Here's Henry.
The Saints got to find a way to get the ball to Cody Smith-Milner. Nothing but guards there.
And that's what they do. Kerwin Roach shows the awareness. And Tory Smith-Milner does the rest.
Well, he does a nice job of making himself a target, coming right to the dots to make himself available for that finish.
Sean Murphy will hand it off to Vodanovich. Russo Nance, crossover, pulls up from 3. Rebounded by Roach eventually.
Things getting a little bit more difficult for the Huskies on the offensive end. They got to find something that gives them a little bit easier look.
Smith-Milner fires it over to Prewster. His foul, Tom Vodanovich picks up the foul, his third.
Just a little bit too aggressive on the screen. And those are the fouls when you're leading the way that you can't really afford to give up, because he's got to use so much of that physicality in the post. To get a cheap one out, just trying to force a screen a little higher out is not what you want to see if you're a Huskies fan.
Roach driving and finishing. Kerwin Roach putting the Saints on his back in this third quarter with Tory Smith-Milner.
Instant rip down the baseline, not giving the defense any time to recover.
Here's Riley. Vodanovich wants it, gets it. 3-ball doesn't go. Smith-Milner with the board. Here's Prewster as Riley goes flying to the ground. Smith-Milner thought about the pass, but made the right decision and drains the 3.
Starting to take control are the Saints. The Huskies called timeout, and now it's been seen. They need to discuss things. The momentum has shifted. The crowd, well, not officially a home game for the Saints, is right behind the Wellington Saints now.
The Huskies want to talk it over. And you know, Casey, I was going to say it's been a quiet game from Dion Prewster so far as we see him pick up another assist. Because I was going to say it's been quiet, but he still has 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists.
Well, this is the player he is. He's not always going to be your leading scorer. He's going to set the table for other guys right now. That's Tohi Smith-Milner and Kerwin Roach Jr., but he's keeping himself involved, and he's certainly facilitating for his teammates while playing that solid defense at the same time. He's just got to be really careful with his fouls and his aggressiveness. He's got 2 right now, and if he is going to get in foul trouble and go to the bench, that'll change things completely for the Saints.
Sean, you're at the back. Dante, Chris, Sean, be active. Take away those high post catches. Zach. Take away those high post catches. Contain penetration. Hard close out on corners, but contain there as well. All right? We got to get stops out of this. Trust the hands. Got to find shooters. They have 5 shooters on the floor, so respect everyone. When we get our stops, let's play. We're settling a little bit right now. Let's get to the rim, get some and
teams come out onto the hardwood. Casey, you mentioned Toy Smith-Milner as we see at Operaha Arena. Before we talk about Toy, let's hear what was said in the Wellington Saints huddle. Megan Compain.
Well, I'm pretty sure Zico is talking quietly so we can't hear him, but I heard from a lot of energy coming out of that bench. The Saints are fired up. They're getting excited now. So there was a lot of chat from them, but Zico was talking about the high pick and roll. They want to force the switch and make sure that they are taking advantage of that mismatch once that switch is happening, and they're looking for Tohi down low.
As well, they might. Toy Smith-Milner with 24 points and 7 rebounds as we see a foul called on Kerwin Roach.
And he's done that in 18 minutes. We have been singing the praises of Tom Vodanovich, but Toy Smith-Milner has been ridiculously efficient. 8 for 11 from the field. Sorry, that's Kerwin Roach Jr. 9 for 13. Two guys are both being ridiculously efficient in this one.
Yeah, Kerwin Roach Jr. with 18 points, 5 assists. There's Zach Riley, 5 on the shot clock. Toy Smith-Milner between him and the basket. Dante Russo now says to put it from downtown Wellington. And Smith-Milner pulls in the rebound.
The defensive intensity is so good by the Saints right now. They have lifted it. Huskies can't match it with their execution.
They lead by 11, make that 13. As the Wellington Saints in this third quarter are playing Wellington Saints basketball.
That enthusiasm is feeding into the offensive end now, and they are like a stone rolling down here, gathering no moss. They're rolling.
Here's Riley. Putting it from mid-range over Prewster. And that's a shot Zico Coronel will be happy to give up.
Yeah, everything is so tough for the Huskies right now. They've lost all those easy opportunities. The Saints are taking the challenge and defending man-to-man and making things extremely difficult in the half court.
Henry. Here's Prewster. To Kerwin Roach. 2 on the shot clock. The shot has to go up. What a spin from Kerwin Roach. And they'll get another chance, and Liam Henry puts it back in. Everything going in the way of the Wellington Saints in this third quarter.
They settled at halftime. They've come back out. They're using their physical and size advantage excellently and executing in a better way. Look at that 21-point difference here in the third quarter.
Riley driving. Smith-Milner with a good hand. And the Saints will slow it down as they make their way up the court. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Third quarter in which they've just strangled this young Husky side. Smith-Milner has been at the heart of it. That 3 doesn't go. The rebound by Tom Vodanovich.
Somebody on this team right now has to decide where we're going to get a bucket from.
Is it going to be Tom Vodanovich? He drops it off to Sean Murphy. Murphy just couldn't get it to go.
Well, just gave up a surefire layup to try and create an opportunity, but that frozen rope difficult to handle.
The Saints fully in control of this quarter. Roach drives baseline. Skips into the lane. Foul call first, and he'll shoot 2 with Kerwin Roach.
Kerwin Roach is just biding his time in that corner, waiting for that ball to swing around into his hands when he attacks with ferocity and just really forcing all those weak side defenders to come over. When he doesn't have that layup opportunity, he does have a chance to kick it to the shooters in the corner. As Tohi Smith-Milner will head to the bench just for this last 14 seconds to ensure he doesn't get a foul. And there's Aaron Young thinking, how do I solve this puzzle? This equation has changed considerably here in the third quarter.
Well, they were up by 6 at halftime. They now find themselves down by 16.
Well, what a job by the Saints to find their zen, so to speak. They've stopped getting faded into the physical battles, and they're just playing good basketball in the half court.
So, Rangi Maria Mita out there for the Saints now, along with Isaac Miller-Jose. As Russo Nance tries to drive down the lane. And that'll be Saints ball as well.
I'd love to see that kind of efficiency off the bench. Guys come in just for 15 seconds, but they force a turnover, and the energy is palpable here in the gym. And the Saints, who look so flustered in that second quarter, look like the team they are now, well in control of this.
And that'll do us. 3 quarters of action done, and the Saints have made this game their own. They trailed by 6 at half-time. And look at them now, leading 74-58. Have just taken this game away from the Huskies. A lot through the work of Torrey Smith-Milner and Kerwin Roach Jr., Casey Frank.
Yeah, we haven't probably spoken enough about what he's meant to the team right now. He's moving really well without the basketball, offering himself as a finisher. There you see the shooting statistics, 9 for 13, and he was so aggressive in that third quarter. Every time he caught, he wasn't settling. He was attacking the rim. When they did give him the jumper, he was taking it. He got lost by the defenders there, and his play in the third was a huge contributor to the momentum change and a much higher level of efficiency on the offensive end.
You want it to go right, left.
Saints looking much calmer in those huddles, surprisingly. Well in control after a brilliant quarter offensively, but it's the defensive intensity that's really changed. And the Huskies looked so good in the half court in that first half, but all those easy opportunities completely taken away. The Wellington Saints playing with a real high level of physicality without fouling, forcing everybody off their line. We're seeing the same defense intensity that they came out with for the first 3 or 4 minutes of the ball game. It had returned there in the third quarter.
And the Saints made the Huskies wait as well to start this fourth quarter, but out onto the court they come. Dion Prewster back into the game. 74-58 they lead. And we can have a chat with the head coach of the Wellington Saints, Zico Coronel. Zico, maybe your team looked a little rattled in that second quarter, but back to Wellington Saints basketball in the third quarter.
Yeah, we were rattled and we played better in the third quarter. If they go to something I recognize the Sun is Sound, I'm going to call out what they're doing, right? Because that's a Spain pick and roll that I could have communicated into my team, but I'm busy doing an interview that I shouldn't be doing.
All right, well, let me ask you the second question. You were able to slow down Tom Bogdanovic there in that third quarter. How is it that you were able to slow down his efficiency offensively?
I mean, it's half done, right? He might go for 20 in this quarter, so it remains to be seen whether we really slowed him down or whether the flow of the game just went that way.
Well, you did slow it down in the third, Zico. All right,
Thank you, Zico. That was a nice second answer from Zico. Here come Troy McLean standing well within the charge circle, but
can't be a charge. He's in the charge circle.
Disagreeing with me.
How can he possibly be in charge? He is 3 feet inside the charge circle. He's under the basket.
We might have a look at the replay just to make sure we're not wrong here, Casey, because, you know, it happens every now and then. We can't see his feet there, so it's not the best angle for us.
Yeah, it looks like he's under the rim to me from that one. You see one from outside.
We might have a wide angle to have a look at soon, but anyway, the call went against the Huskies, as has sort of this game in this third quarter. In the third quarter, start of the fourth. Can they get back into the game, or will the Saints continue just to smother them? Because they have so many teams this season. McLean drops it off to Smith-Milner, two-handed finish off a 2-foot takeoff. The rim is bent. It's going to need someone to fix that.
It's an easy pop back. I love these rims here. They break in all directions. That's one of my favorite ones. And Torrey Smith-Milner put a little bit more stress on him than I was ever able to.
76-60. Bogdanovic step back three, high arcing, tickles the twine. Tom Bogdanovic from downtown.
Well, I spoke it into existence, and now Zico's mad at me. He's found 5 quick points after only scoring, I'm not sure if it was 2 or 5 there in that third quarter, but he's certainly come out with a bit more aggressiveness, and he needs it.
Is that right? Not giving the MVP of the league an inch. Quick hands though from Leon Henry. Here's Kerwin Roach. Henry from way downtown. He gets the 3 to go. Fifth pump to the bench.
A quick rotation of the basketball and a quicker release. The Saints have stopped turning down good looks. and now they're taking him when they come.
Here's Zdenovic. Pulls up from three from the wing. Another one for Tom Zdenovic. 3, 6, 8 points to start this quarter.
Man, he is once again carrying the load. This is the only answer the Huskies have, him creating opportunities. I love his mindset here.
They trail by 13, though, in the fourth quarter. Prewster. No look pass to Roach. Roach glances at the shot clock. Dion Prewster turns to fire from Cuba Street, and he gets it to go.
Really tough to find perimeter shooters out of a 1-2-2 zone, and that's what Coach Aaron Young is asking his guys to do. So far, the Saints have been up to the challenge and knocking them down.
Poked out illegally. The foul called on Troy McLean. Lucky Ferguson makes his way to the bench. We see a smile from Zeke Coronel.
A little reach behind by Troy McLean, a bit of contact on the body.
Set Riley and Zico still talking about that charge. Here is Riley, taking a lot of contact and then getting blocked by Dion Prewster. Barrow comes down with the ball though. And here's Riley on the wing, nothing on that one, and the Saints bench enjoyed that.
Stays with the Huskies. Eat it up, Zach Riley. You're 18 years old and you're in all these guys' heads? Oh, that's lovely. You can't ask for anything better than that.
Fantastic season and another performance tonight as Zdenovic had to let it go on the buzzer. The shot clock buzzer, that is. Here's Kerwin Roach. Henry fires it over to Prewster. Roach from the top for three. There it goes. Well, the Wellington Saints are training everything. We have a timeout from the Auckland Huskies. Kerwin Roach up to 24 points. They're 15 of 33 from beyond the arc. They've taken 33 three-pointers, Casey Freen.
That's what they do. They kill you at the rim, they kill you from behind the line, but they've been much more aggressive here in the second half of taking the shots as they come. In that second quarter in particular, they're really trying to force things, but here he reads it perfectly. Zach Riley goes under the screen. Kerwin Roach says, well, if you're going to do that, I'm just going to let it fly and tickle the twine. There you see it. Nick Barrow not up in position for Zach Riley to go under, no help. Makes it an easy look that he takes advantage of.
Great job of attacking that one. We'll play out of that. Nick, make sure you dive out of that every time. It might not be, they might deny Tommy, which means that we can attack that and get to the rim. All right, the other one we can get into flat and we can pick on certain guys. Bring you into the first couple, everyone else stay low. Tommy, you can go to the corner, then we can bring you in and we can get into some pops. Like Tommy said, we got to be active with our closeouts, contained. Back to man right now, we're in yellows. All right, let's go. Come on now, here we go.
85-66 as the teams make their way back onto the hardwood here in Porirua. Semi-final number one. And Megan was listening into the Saints huddle. What's the word, Megan Compain?
Well, I think I got a little bit of a smile out of Coach Zico. He's happy with what he's seeing, but he's also very conscious that Tom can light up. Said he's got to keep an eye on him. Don't let him get his shots. Don't make it easy for him because he does not want him to get him single-handedly back into this game.
Dante Russo-Nance. Thank you, Megan.
And that really is the only answer the Huskies have right now. Nobody else has been able to create any offense outside of Zdenovic.
Here is Zdenovic. That is a heavily contested three ball.
The Huskies need to find a way to make things a little bit easier than just throwing the ball at the top of the key and having him create. He needs to get the ball on the move in areas that he can make decisions from.
This is, of course, a Huskies team with no imports as Leon Henry gets another one to rattle in for three.
As he jumps into double figures with 11 points now, as the Saints starting to share the basketball a little bit.
No Chris Johnson, of course, who left the Huskies a couple of weeks ago. And Justin Bibbs ruled out just before tip-off as Barrow finds Zdenovic. And this is the easiest finish he had today.
This is the bunny, the iron unkind.
Here's Troy McLean from the corner. His three ball rebounded by Sean Murphy. Zach Riley driving contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. The 18-year-old with 14 points, Casey.
Well, right now, the Huskies are doing everything one-on-one. The basketball isn't doing any of the work for them. They have to get some energy into that ball, move it around, make this Wellington Saints defense adjust more than it is right now. What they're looking at is the ball comes across half court, and whoever has it is attacking. That's easy to defend. You have to make these guys move around and get a little something else into their heads other than just guarding this guy who's coming downhill at me.
This is his first. And what a turnaround over a quarter and a half from the Wellington Saints.
Happens quick. Reality will get you. That 30-8 third quarter. They slowed down a bit here for the Saints, but the damage was certainly done.
Here's Kerwin Roach. One of the real sparks in that third quarter. Darnay Samuel with a tough shot, and he gets it to go over Tucky Ferguson.
Excellent patience zone. I love it when he recognizes the mismatch and takes advantage of it.
Sean Murphy on the wing, shoots over Leon Henry. That one doesn't go. Tom Wadanovic asking for the ball from his teammates.
We've seen a real lack of penetration here in the second half by the Huskies. Those driving lanes just dried up.
Prewster with a delayed pass to Tuffin. His three ball goes. Three number 17 for the Wellington Saints.
Lovely bit of skill shown by Dion Prewster there. Had multiple targets and one defender, and he forces it, baits him into thinking the pass is going low, and then goes out to the corner for the finish.
Berenson, Tuffin. Clattered by Vodanovic. Leon Henry slaps it out of bounds. Always plays a game like the world hates him. Leon Henry.
Playing angry. He's playing so angry. Why is he so mad at Tucky Ferguson for knocking the ball out of his hand?
Certainly worked for him. 6 titles to his name.
And now re-attack.
Finals MVP with the Southland Sharks. The other 5 titles with the Saints. Here's Ferguson driving. Tuffin does well.
Oh, what a recovery. Was out of the play, but just zips that hand back into the cookie jar to knock it away. And the Huskies, on a made basket, will have a timeout here.
Roach. Prewster. Inside is Darnay Samuel. Can't get it to finish though. Sean Murphy goes up high and gets the rebound. It's a fair bit of Darnay Samuel as well. Zach Riley drives and finishes with his left down the other end.
Looking, trying to force that contact, a slow step, still able to finish with the left hand.
Here's Roach. Sean Murphy paying close attention to him. Dion Prewster has to settle for a long three. And it's rebounded by Ferguson.
Time running out on the Huskies. They're getting a bit desperate.
Ferguson's pull-up three doesn't go.
The clock, the best friend of the Saints here with 3 minutes to go. They're going to start really trying to milk it in the half court.
Well, they should with a 24-point lead.
Or maybe they'll just let it fly. You never know with the squad.
One thing is almost certain, though, Casey, the Wellington Saints will be back in another grand final as Samuel tries to get it to go, rebounded by Murphy.
With just 3 minutes to go, just not enough time left for the Huskies to do that work that needs to be done.
Step back from Russo Nance. That one doesn't go.
But this final scoreline should not belittle the accomplishments of the Huskies in this season and even this game. I mean, what a job to come out and have the Wellington Saints on the back foot on essentially their home court in the semifinal.
Without any import.
Severely undermanned team.
2 schoolboys. It's been a fantastic effort.
They got more than 2, surely, don't they? There's a bunch of young bucks over there. But yeah, it was, man, they came out fighting. They were swinging hard and give everything they could. But that third quarter, 30-8, and it was the defensive intensity and effort of this Saints squad in that term that just completely changed the energy of this ball game. And despite the best shots from the Husky squad.
And he might do something dumb.
We're in reds, almost. Reds, almost. All right, take away that short roll option, rotate to that. show some heart. Let's finish this game the right way. Come on now, let's do this. Come too far. Back.
2 minutes and 25 to go in this first semi-final, and the Wellington Saints with a healthy lead. But if you're just tuning in, geez, we had some fireworks in the first half. The Huskies led by 6 at half-time. The second quarter was fearsome, with plenty of drama, plenty of big shots. But the Wellington Saints, whatever they talked about at half-time, it worked, because they came out and just strangled this Husky side.
No, I think what they did mostly was reset their mindset, stop worrying about the officials, stop worrying about the physicality of the defense from the Huskies, and start worrying about the things they could control. And the thing that was mostly that they could control was their offensive execution.
Tommy Smith-Milner.
Oh, a big man with a soft touch.
So feathery. And a little miscommunication there, which has summed up the Huskies' second half.
Man, Tohi Smith-Milner. We have been singing the praises of Bogdanovic, but look at the skill in this. What a finish with the left hand on the other side of the rim. That is brilliant. 28 points for him now to go along with a solid rebounding effort as well.
9 boards for Tohi. Here he is again. Hands it off to Prewster. Prewster fires it back to Tohi. Leon Henry wide open to his left. Tohi says, I'll take it. And that is a triple-double for Dion Prewster with rebound number 10. 10 assists and 12 points.
He hasn't really enforced his will in this ball game, but he has been so solid for the Saints today, as you do when you get a triple-double.
The defense from Riley on tough in there. Here come the Huskies the other way. Chris McIntosh puts the ball on the floor, and that's goaltending from Leon Henry. So the basket will count.
Well, nice attack in transition.
Semi-final triple-double for Dion Prewster.
How about that guy should be maybe the MVP of the league or something. Oh, wait, he was.
Let's see this one come off the backboard before Leon Henry swipes it away. Leon Henry as well on left for Leon Henry.
Giving the Huskies nothing. Nothing early, nothing late.
Smith-Milner driving and finishing 30, a 30-piece for Tohi.
Dominant when he needed to be, and so efficient in doing so.
Berenson. Late call, but the call nonetheless fouled by Kerwin Roach.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of a high five there.
As we're going to see the youngsters come out for the Wellington Saints as they empty the bench. 5 subs coming on, the crowd applaud as the stars go off. Casey Ezra Vaingapa, Tom Gold, Cal Robinson and Isaac Miller-Jose out there now for the Saints in semi-final basketball.
What a job by the Wellington Saints squad here in that second half. Really unselfish with the basketball, sharing it around. We got 4 players in double figures, led by Tohi Smith-Milner with 30, Kerwin Roach Jr. 24. The triple-double from Dion Prewster, who flirted with it all season long, but gets it in the semi-final. And the Saints, I think some adversity for them was really good in the semi, something that they needed to get through in order to get to that final game.
Nick Barrett with a nice finish, under a minute to go, and that's all she wrote for the Auckland Huskies in 2021, but a fantastic first full season in the league.
Definitely something
to make it this far. They almost had Armani Brooks start the season for them. Instead, he was pulled off the plane and sent to the Houston Rockets instead.
Good scouting department there. Good, well done. But excellent first full season in the league. They've done such a nice job of developing young talent and using the team, the players that they had in a good way. As Miller Joe's just tosses the ball out in the stands, a little upset with himself.
A cameo by Jeremy Kendall for 3 games to get them on the right foot. A couple of close ones, buzzer beaters before Kendall left the country. Chris Johnson came in and was one of the stars of the league, as was Justin Bibbs. Both not here come semi-final time.